Wednesday, October 25th. Decided to start today in the car and show the lower part of the property because the house is, well, up there. You can see through the trees. And we never actually tour around. So the driveway that goes directly up to the house goes that way, but we also have this driveway that goes around and circles around here. So I'm gonna stay in the car and do this tour. Actually, we will go this way. I decided that I'll show you around this part of the property from inside the vehicle because, as you can see, it is raining. So one of the things I forgot to mention last week that we were screwing around doing is trying to a lot of other stuff besides the house. So all of this is, we had to dismantle the garden. So we do these like garden boxes and, you know, like hoop garden stuff. And so we have like, what, 7 of those and a bunch of pots that we, you know, put different vegetables in and stuff. So we had to dismantle all of that from our yard at our apartment complex and then load it on the trailer and bring it over here so we could just have it move before the snow started. And I've hid some more hidden planters and stuff. I said, okay, just get it out in the woods somewhere. We'll cover it with a tarp or whatever, just to get it moved before the snow came. And so we did get that accomplished. So, and plus getting the trampoline dismantled because last winter we did not do that. And when you have like 4 or 5 feet of snow on top of your trampoline and it's very wet and heavy, you have to get out there and shovel it off. And Scott and I decided that we were not going to put our backs out this year doing that. So I had someone help do that project. So the other thing I wanted to look at here, because Scott decided that we're going to put the propane tank right here along the back side. And so he kind of carved a spot out and he's going to put some more gravel down there and compact it. But also last week he had Spencer help dig this little trench that's for the propane to go up the hill, and then it's going to go right into the back of the house there where the utility room is. And so we have a piece of conduit that we're going to run it through there. So that was another thing we were trying to get prepped before the snow came. So now Scott says he's been doing some stuff inside, so I'll go check that out. Oh, and then this, I'm gonna drive around, but this goes around the side here and into the back entrance of the house. So the back entrance just comes around here, and boy, it is still pouring rain. We've had some very wonky weather going on here lately. I mean, the other morning I'm driving to work, it's like 28 degrees, and then the next morning it's 38 degrees. It's currently like 44 and rain. Yesterday it snowed like a good 4 inches, and the students were out at lunchtime throwing snowballs at each other outside my classroom window, so that was entertaining. But now that's all, you know, the rain just wipes that all away, so it's kind of a slushy mess out there. So let's see. Scott's been up here in the evening working on getting the insulation up here, so, oh, nice. All right, looking good, looking good. He says that he can feel a difference even like when he's up high, and then he's like, oh, it's a lot warmer up here, and you know, any holes that we can get blocked. So he's getting it across there and putting the panels in, just cutting them so just tight enough to wedge up in there and leave that little gap, that 2-inch gap between the top of the bottom of the roof there and the foam, so for the ventilation part. But so he's gotten all that across here. He said he wanted to start in this section and then go across. So he's going to come up. I'm just on my way home from work right now, and I'm going to go home, spend some time with Emma Jean, and then he's going to come up here, and he said he wants to get across that part. So every little bit in the evening that he can work on. So he's kind of set this up to just mark them and cut them on this saw. And he's asking me about these little strips. I'm like, yeah, never throw anything away. We might be able to use them. So we're wondering about taking these strips, and then there's like this little gap. Well, we know we're gonna have to put some more foam board on the outside, but all along here, there's a gap that we need to fill there too. And so we may put some of that thin, these little strips that he's got cut off there, and then go ahead and foam that in as tightly as we can. So, oh, this is nice to see. So the yes, the fire is drying things out in here, which is great. So, and thank you, somebody. I was like, oh no, we're wasting wood or whatever, and then somebody commented, said, no, remember you you said you want to dry things out. Oh yes, 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 that's right. We do want to dry things out in here. So even if some of the heat is escaping out those holes, we just got to keep working on plugging the holes and along the back. So okay, we're making some progress.
So I got my propane pad prepped out, trench dug. It's going to run right through here. This is going to come up obviously with more gravel and then go right into the wall right over there. And I had to raise the pad up and compact it. I didn't get a chance to finish that before the ground froze, and then we got a good thaw. So I'm thankful that I did, because when it did thaw, we had a big rain and it tried to wash it out. So I built the pad up higher than the road. Got a nice little drainage down there now, so she's going to be high and dry. So my dad's coming up this week. We got our windows and doors. He's going to be hanging the boiler. So he asked me to sheetrock this wall only on one side. And so he's got somewhere to mount the boiler and the manifold, which is going to be on the other side of that skinny part there, inside and outside of it. And the boiler will go about right here, and then the water tank will be about right here. We're also continuing to insulate. I wanted to get this room tightened up a little bit so that my mud will dry. Got a little oil cold heater there, a little fan going so I can get a coat every day on there. I like to get 3 or 4 coats on, then hate to stop in the middle of something and have something in your way when you're trying to mud and tape, so it's not fun. So we got this is going to be our new stationing room, Imogene's room. I'm going to get this thing finished insulating it. I've got the 1-inch there. I need to put the 2-inch up here so we can just be our last room we finish, I think.
What are you measuring there?
Just marking these size that they need to be.
So how many are you able to get 2 out of a board?
2 out
or?
of 1, yeah.
Okay. So we're having to cut them snug enough to just kind of fit up in there. That you need the board to.
Board, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see. You're just kind of using that to snug it in there. Gotcha.
A little tricky from a ladder.
Yeah, it's probably easier on the lift, huh? Yep, as long as it's up there and we've got our 2-inch spacing at the top, that's looking good. That's why he put the 1 inch along here, and then leaving the spacing at the top where those notches are, and then putting this one in next.
So I'm going to finish the room over there where we're staging things, just so we can get out of there, and then I'm going to move and then finish this entire stretch right here, because the fireplace is there, so all of our heat's going right there. I don't want to lose any more heat right there.
Yeah.
Try to trap it, get it, it'll tighten things up beautifully right there. And then the next time we go to town, get the insulation for the fireplace.
We're going to use just some mineral wool, or
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just to stuff up around there. That'd be a good idea. Yes.
So cut a little piece of styrofoam. We'll keep it about, this far away from it, because it doesn't get more than 140 degrees up there.
Yeah, sure you can, honey.
I'll stop the styrofoam probably 4 or 5 inches from it there and go down.
It's not working right.
Get her done.
Yeah.
What do you together and be like a leaf.
Oh, nice.
And have leaves on them like feathers.
Oh. Yeah.
Big leaves.
We
like
are going.
concrete leaves.
Oh, that's a creative idea. We are going to use those to stuff up there in those little spots. So we decided we were losing a lot of time by being so disorganized and always looking for like, oh, where's this or where's that? So we decided to, as Scott was saying, use this as a staging area. And we had, over time, looked at garage sales and found, I mean, this was just some pegboard, shelving board, or whatever it was. It was just had a sign that said free. So we grabbed that, I think it was like a year ago in the summer, and stuck that in our garage. And then I remember getting this thing for like 50 cents at a garage sale, and said, okay, well, we can use that and organize these things. We'll have all these like shelving brackets. So that's what we're doing. He's just setting these up in here so that we can organize all of these tools and stop wasting time looking for stuff, and get the fasteners reorganized and that as well. So, and just keeping like everything, if we have stuff like, the pressure tank and whatever, just have it all organized to keep it here so we know where things are and stop wasting time looking for stuff. Oh, are you just lounging? Is it nice and warm? Scott was talking about leveling this out better down here for the propane tank. And so he was showing a view from up top, but I wanted to show down here what he did just to kind of get that position better. So it's looking good there. Gonna have to get him to straighten out that driveway a little bit more. We got the mud thing. We were very fortunate that the temperature did go up a bit, so we do not have the frozen ground. So we're kind of reevaluating what needs to be done right now, and he wants to do a bit more dirt work. He's done some around the perimeter of the building to kind of level things out some more. We're going to get some scaffolding put up so it'll be easier to put on the siding on the north side especially. And he wants to kind of straighten things out a bit more around the front of the house and move some things around. So that's a plan, and we're all going to go home now and make a list of things that some of the guys can do, like Spencer, Dakota, and just say, hey, here's a list, and go at it. So if we can be a little more organized all the way around, not only in putting our tools in a particular spot where we can find things, but also like making a list and being more efficient. Like, hey, if the guys are able to come after school for an hour or two, then here's a list of little tasks that we need done, and then we don't have to stop and tell them, oh, here's the next thing or here's the next thing, and they can just kind of check things off the list. So maybe that's a teacher in me, and I'm trying to be a little more organized with those little task lists. So and I've kind of been out of commission a bit on as far as the labor goes lately. It was the end of the quarter. I had a ton of grading to do, and I realized that I had pushed myself too hard the week before trying to get stuff done around here, and neglected getting the papers done that I needed to do. So then, you know, deadlines come and I'm kind of pushing on that. And I'm like, okay, this is just, you know, you have to keep your sanity and you have to keep your job straight. So I've kind of backed off, and not a whole lot done on my part around here this past week, but it's Sunday evening right now, and I was up at school earlier planning some lessons, but Scott's been here when he can to work on that insulation and stuff. So a little bit at a time. That's what we're gonna keep doing. And like he said, his dad's gonna come down this week and help with some other projects. So we are very hopeful that the window order will be in, and we can get those going as well. So that's about it for the week.